This is a concept drawing for a diving suit made by Leonardo da Vinci around 1500. This is a diagram of a diving suit made by Konrad Kyeser about 100 years earlier. Now, historians are a little bit divided about whether da Vinci copied Kyeser, maybe they worked from the same source, or both came to the same idea independently. But there's one thing on which almost everyone can agree. Konrad Kyeser's drawings are really cool. And this is Useless History. The late 14th and early 15th century was not a good time to be a physician in Europe. There was the Black Death, nutrition was abysmal, and there were countless wars and skirmishes killing people right and left. Medical science was an oxymoron. But a physician is what young Konrad Kyeser chose to be when he left his native Germany and moved to Italy. When the Holy Roman Empire chose to launch a crusade against the Turks at Nicopolis, Kyeser accompanied the forces, probably as a staff physician. The Battle of Nicopolis was one of the greatest European losses of the Middle Ages. Tens of thousands met on a field in western Greece in an effort to drive the Ottoman Turks out of Europe. The battle went poorly for the Europeans, so they surrendered and were executed. Among the few survivors were Sigismund, King of Hungary, and Konrad Kyeser. Kyeser openly blamed Sigismund for the loss, and Sigismund soon came to wish that Kyeser had been among the dead. Plans were made for Kyeser's arrest, and one can only assume a typical medieval punishment. Although only 38, Kyeser was in poor health and not expected to live long when he fled the royal court. Some say he was accused of sorcery, which is entirely possible because he clearly believed in it. He took refuge in a small town in Bavaria, where he set to work on his magnum opus, Bellifortis, which he dedicated to Sigismund's rival, the Holy Roman Emperor Ruprecht of Palatinate. Great name. Kyeser and the other illustrators he is known to have employed created beautiful, at times disturbing images. Yet they had absolutely no ability to draw perspective. Bellifortis, meaning strong war, describes techniques and equipment that are so strange, so bizarre, it amazes me there hasn't yet been a History Channel style documentary on it. Oh, what the heck. What if everything you know about medieval warfare is wrong? Excuse me, can you do something about the voice? What if everything you know about medieval warfare is wrong? Thank you, much better. What if this drawing from 1405 actually depicts an early military tank? Could this design for an elevator actually work? Does this image of Alexander the Great depict a man holding a rocket? And what if that mysterious word, Meufaton, after more than 600 years, no one has figured out what it could mean? The Bellifortis of Konrad Kyeser not only depicts these strange marvels, it includes incantations for powerful spells to be used in times of war. Yet so little is known about the author, we're not even sure he ever died. Okay, that's all basically true, but it's not quite as amazing as it sounds, because for most people, everything they know about medieval warfare really is wrong. Gunpowder weapons were not common in the late 14th and 15th century, but they were not rare either. This is a French drawing of a cannon from 1327. This image from the Bellifortis shows a gun being used as a tactical weapon. By the time of Kyeser, what they called a handgun looked something like this. But Bellifortis took existing technology to new, slightly improbable heights. Here's a suggestion that soldiers polish their shields so as to blind their enemies. An interesting idea, so long as you remember, never fight on cloudy days. Many of the drawings do include explanations written in Latin, but the wording is strange and doesn't make a lot of sense, and the handwriting is about what you'd expect from a doctor. Here's a depiction of a castle being sieged while the baker continues to work on fresh bread. A system for winding tighter and stronger crossbows. There are several designs for multiple firing guns, including this 6-shooting revolver. Barrels of gunpowder converted into rockets, and of course, a Trojan dog. Okay, I don't know what that is. Not all the images are military. For example, there are costumed riders, a number of designs for water engineering, a heating system for brothels, and what is widely regarded as the first ever image of a chastity belt. On the last page, Kyeser included a self-portrait, his desired funeral eulogy, the date of his birth, and a space to write in the date of his death. The date has never been filled in. All we know is that nobody ever reported seeing Kyeser again after 1405. Following Kyeser's disappearance, the Bellifortis moved around and was copied a few times. Today, the original is in Göttingen, Germany. A facsimile edition was published in Germany in 1967, but in the United States, there are only about 60 copies available in public libraries. You can look at the images and read some of the text from certain websites, but for now, English language research into this enigmatic man and his somewhat bizarre imagination is quite limited. While Kyeser's work may have inspired a few doctoral dissertations and has been the source of some obscure research, for most of us, whatever this is, it's still useless history. Oh, and if you are with the History Channel or somebody else that wants to do a long-form documentary on Kyeser and the Bellifortis, there's one other thing you really need to know. I'm available.